Hello, YouTube. This is the Galley La Podcast, and today, during the Void Month, as they're calling it, because Oda's been on break for, or is going to be on break for 5 weeks, today we're going to be talking about, I'd say this is a quasi-theory or slash discussion of Garp and Kobe. Which one of them will be the new Garp?
You mean Smoker and Kobe?
Yes, that too.
Yeah.
Smoker and Kobe.
He's so forgettable that you don't even remember his name.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. And so we will be spoiling you if you're not caught up on the Egghead Island arc. So we're going to be in the most recent chapter of the manga. So please keep that in mind. And please like and subscribe if you haven't. So I would say before Egghead Island, there's kind of this debate where there's this back and forth on, Luffy's going to be the new Roger, obviously, but who's going to be the new Garp, essentially. And so there was a lot of back and forth because Smoker had that interaction with him, with Luffy at Logtown and Alabasta, right? So there was a lot going on there. But then we see Kobe come back into Eni's lobby. He's the first character that Luffy really meets in the series and everything. And they have a lot of clashing back and forth with Marineford, and then Kobe's embarrassed. So it kind of seemed like both were equal until, I would say, Smoker gets his first negative with, let's say, Punk Hazard, with getting defeated by Law, Virgo, and Doflamingo. So
all in one arc.
All in one arc, right? And we haven't seen him really since, Yeah. Now, you can say in the extra canon stuff, we've seen him in the movies, and he's had a prominent role there. That's great. But Kobe's been kind of dominating the spotlight as of recently. It's fair to say. But so generally, that's kind of where the landscape is that the Smoker stocks have been going down and the Kobe stocks have been going up. So Geboss, what's your take on kind of how I presented that?
I mean, I generally agree. I think just starting off with how Smoker was first introduced and everything, he was going after Luffy a lot, and like you said, he hasn't really had, like, pre-time skip. He stopped kind of after Alabasta, and then Kobe kind of took over as kind of the equivalent for Luffy in the Marines. And like you said, outside of Punk Hazard, like, Smoker hasn't even been seen since then.
Yeah.
Like, his only other big appearance was in Stampede, where he had a big role, but I feel like not a lot of people were, like, excited for it.
So I forget, was he in film Red at all?
No.
Okay, yeah. So, but Kobe had a huge prominent role in that movie.
Exactly. Like, Kobe had a big role in that, and they hyped him up as, like, the hero with the Rocky Port incident. Like, everyone in the stadium knew who he was.
Yeah.
And that's the reputation more that you would kind of expect out of a Garp replacement, because he's considered to be the hero of the Marines, and he's directly trained Kobe and everything. So I feel more likely that Kobe's gonna be that equivalent for Garp, especially because with when, spoilers for Egghead Island, when Garp is rescuing Kobe from Blackbeard, they even take Tashigi along, but they don't even Smoker's nowhere to be seen. So I guess it's just not like a sword thing, because I think Tashigi is more of a straight shooter more than Smoker is.
Right. And so I think, like, with the fame thing, for example, right, that is an essential character quality of, like, let's say Garp is fame as the hero, while when you look at, like, Roger, his essential thing, another essential aspect of Roger was his fame, and he found the One Piece, right? So fame is So Luffy's famous, clearly. Kobe's more famous. Like, really, you could say the only thing Smoker was famous about was capturing Crocodile, but that really wasn't even developed much. And secondly, he didn't even capture Crocodile, you know? So all that happened, right? And when you go to Marineford, yeah, Smoker had a good showing combat-wise, you know? But on a narrative level, he didn't do anything. Kobe was the center stage again, right? He stood up to Akainu. He got praise from Shanks. Garp was shocked at his actions, not Smoker's actions. And then Blackbeard was unnerved by Kobe's actions, right? And he kind of helped to end the war and all this stuff. So Smoker got none of that, right? No hype on that level. And then Kobe's revealed to have some type of special type of hockey introduced shortly thereafter. So yeah, combat-wise, overall, Smoker has been better in the series as of now. But I think it's heavily applied that Kobe's pretty busted too at the same time. You know, they just haven't showed it yet.
Yeah.
But also narratively, Kobe's way more essential to the story at this point.
Yeah, he is, because especially we still have to figure out really what went on with the Rocky Port incident.
Yeah.
There's no like kind of lore building stuff with Smoker compared with Kobe.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm still, you know how like people like rag on a certain character, and you kind of find yourself defending them. I feel like I'm that with Smoker. Like, I like Smoker. It's just I wish he had a better showing.
So do you think Oda was like, yeah, he's gonna be the new Smoker, and changed his mind and made it Kobe? Or do you think that it was always meant to be a fake out in a way?
I mean, we saw from the very beginning that like, actually, let me just check really quick when the Kobe cover story was, because
sorry, go.
That's when Oda decided to have him train under Garp. So yeah, this was around the time chapter 83 to chapter 119. So that's during the Arlong part, because chapter 100 was going to the Grand Line.
Yeah.
So Logtown was in there too. So it was around the time that Smoker was introduced. So I think like from the get-go, Kobe had the dream to become he wanted to be an admiral, right?
Yes. But that was introduced at Enies Lobby.
Okay. But yeah, he wanted to be a Marine. So I feel like Oda's giving him that, letting him accomplish his own dreams. And if you've read One Piece, dreams are a big part of the story. And Smoker doesn't really have that, really. He just kind of goes after the pirates.
Yeah, because I think one of the arguments for Smoker was that Garp had Roger pinned down multiple times, right? But Kobe's never done that. But Smoker's done that.
That's true.
Right? So, but at the same time, kind of, you bring up a great point that I kind of neglected. Kobe was trained by Garp.
Yeah.
Right? That's another big parallel right there. And anyone who tends to be trained by someone, they tend to follow in their footsteps. You know?
So Kobe was... I had a good point for Kobe, but I lost it. So go ahead and make any point that you have. I'll see if I remember it.
Yeah, well, just going back to this whole combat aspect too, because there's always kind of been like a shit talking, like, oh, Kobe's never been close to Luffy. I'd say that's true, but hear me out. the rate by which he is growing in strength is faster than the rate by which Luffy's been growing in strength throughout the series.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities that he does catch up with Luffy at one point, to be honest. I know that sounds shocking, but when you see him week in the beginning, and let's just say a couple months pass by, you know, for Ennie's lobby, and he's already learned part of the 6 powers, you know, that's crazy, right? And then after the 2-year time skip, he has that broken hockey. He's destroying a submarine thing. He didn't get turned into stone by Boa Hancock's, you know, stone petrification power, right? While Blackbeard's subordinates did. It's insanity. You're like, when you think about how much he's grown in power, you know?
Yeah.
So I think in that respect, it kind of makes it up, because I think Oda wants to emphasize his character and his goodness more than his power.
Yeah.
You know? Because I think in one way he's going to supersede Garp is he's actually going to make a difference in the Marines, which Garp wasn't able to accomplish.
Yeah, well, that just brings in the whole thing, like, what's going to happen to the Marines at the end of the series, in terms of, like, what's going to happen with Akainu and everything. But I remembered my point. So, I'm just thinking in terms of the actual, like, dynamic between Garp and Roger. The thing is, with Luffy, I can see... So Roger asked Garp to look over his son. I can't see that happening between Smoker and Luffy. I could see that happening between Luffy and Kobe.
100%.
Yeah. Because they're more so... Like, I still think Luffy considers Kobe a friend. Yeah.
And I think, right, I think that's a good point, and I think he has more, look, I think with anime and manga in general, it's like, I think the first character the MC interacts with, I know there's kind of like the flashback with Shanks, I get that, but, because I know in the anime it starts out with Kobe, but in the manga it starts off with the flashback with Shanks, you know, I get that, but in the present timeline, his journey begins by meeting Kobe, you know?
Yeah.
Thematically, that's kind of insane when you think about it, you know? Like, he met Kobe before he met Zoro.
Yeah.
You know? And then we had Smoker introduced a little bit down the line and everything, and I just think, just from a narrative standpoint, I think that does a lot of weight to where Kobe's going to be by the end of the series, both in power and, like, revolving around the story, you know, and things like that, you know, and he's had 2 different occasions of tension with Blackbeard explicitly, you know, with Blackbeard getting visibly perturbed by him at Marineford, 1, and then 2, they have the clash around Boa Hancock, and then I guess you could say 3, he gets kidnapped and everything, right? Garp fought Zebek with Roger, right?
Yeah.
And so Kobe having more of this explicit animosity of Blackbeard fits more with the new Garp idea too, right?
Yeah.
Where I could see Kobe and Luffy fighting Blackbeard together.
Yeah, exactly. I think the bottom line is that Smoker just needs to get more love in the series.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, because he was set up as a good foil, just a good Marine foil, because we've had a lot of pirate rivalries or long running things. There isn't really that much for the Marines besides like the admirals.
Yeah, because his character kind of got embarrassed with
Yeah, like you said.
Oh wait, we did see him one time with just reading the newspaper about the warlords getting abolished.
Yeah, but that's not a real. It's not a substantial role in the plot.
Yeah, I just forgot about it. So that's why, I'm like, oh, yeah, there was that. But I think he's also, by his character, is getting embarrassed. He's suffering firsthand by the warlords of Crocodile and then Doflamingo because Virgo betrays him and it heartbreaks him and it drives him nuts, right? And he sees the darker side of the Marines, the world government. But who gets rid of it all? It's Fujitora.
Yeah.
Right? So it's kind of like one of the big motivations for him, for his character, is kind of the corruption he sees in the government. But he doesn't really play a role in anything. Like, Fujitora goes, Leroy Jenkins, I'm just going to come in here and just take care of all of it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. So that just takes away a character motivation for him.
Yeah. So I think at the end of the series, if Kobe is Garp, we also kind of think, or we've talked about before, that Kobe might just end up leading the Marines. And I could see Smoker being like an admiral under him.
I don't think Kobe will lead the Marines. I think he's had more than enough reason to lead before with some of the shit he's seen already.
I said lead, not leave.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, misunderstood. Okay. Then yes, I agree with your point. Sorry.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he's also just a better person than Smoker. And I don't think Smoker's a bad guy. I just think Smoker's a good guy. Kobe's a really good guy.
Yeah. But you know who we gotta watch out for is Smoker's pants, because he ate that ice cream.
Yep. Yeah, I was thinking about that just now. Yep.
Yeah.
And I think, but clearly as of recently, Oda's going this direction with Kobe. I think you and I are both agree that he's going to be the new Garp, basically. But what does that leave for Smoker? I guess Smoker could be a good Marine trying to resist the excesses of the world government, which we've been seeing. So that could probably be part of his goal.
Mm-hmm.
But, I was just kind of thinking like they'd incorporate it more in the Egghead Island and Vegapunk, but he hasn't done that. You think this would be the arc to bring him back into,
Exactly. That's why I found it so weird that he wasn't with Garp and Tashigi, rescuing Kobe. I get it's a sword operation, but again, why is Tashigi there compared to... Yeah. That could be that he might be heading to Egghead. Who knows?
Yeah, and which I think would be well needed and everything, because I do want his character to do better and stuff, and so because the warlord motivation, that's gone. Okay, that doesn't exist anymore. And which kind of leaves like maybe the last excesses of the world government needs to be taken care of, or there's some. Because, like, Smoker always wants to capture pirates at the end of the day, And there's still plenty of pirates to take care of, but there's no present animosity with any pirate in particular that he really wants to take down,
Yeah.
The only one would have been, like, the Don Quixote pirates, but again, that got taken away too, So.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, those are kind of my closing thoughts here. I can't see... The only thing I can see Smoker doing is fighting off the excesses of the world government, because he is not going to be a new Garp. I think that role is for Kobe, and I've kind of always believed that. But what are your closing thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that Smoker is interesting because he doesn't put up with the shit from the world government. Like he told him in Alabasta. But yeah, I think just narrative-wise, Kobe's just had more screen time and more importance placed on him. But yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I think that just about does it. So anyways, leave your thoughts in the comments or vote on the new poll that we'll set up. We'll ask this question of who do you think will be the next Garp, Kobe, or Smoker? But please like and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for listening, and we will see you guys soon. Peace.
See ya.